Let's talk about something that's very common. I think pretty much everyone who drives can relate. All right, I'm gonna try my best to make this short. Please, you gotta forgive me if it goes a little longer than what I expected, because this is very this is the type of topic where it could branch off. Anyway, all right. So the rules of the road, real quick. 55 miles is the speed limit in this highway, right? This is a New York State highway. 55 miles is the speed limit. Now let me tell you something that's very common. Now, anyone could agree, and you probably could say to yourself, you know what, I do that too. And this is the whole point of this video. I want you to be aware, behavior modification. I want you to make sure that your driving behavior is modified a little bit. After watching this video, hopefully you can understand the point and maybe, think about how you drive. So speed limit is 55. That means there's 3 lanes on this highway. The speed limit is 55. I mean, I don't want to make it sound, I don't want to sound like I'm teaching or schooling you, that this is preschool, but I'm hoping everybody know that 55 miles pertain to all 3 lanes. Unless you're exiting, and then there's an exit that says, for example, right there, it says 35-mile exit, and you're exiting. So that's the whole thing. All right, so it's 55 miles on all the lanes. And for the point of this this vlog, I'm cruise controlling. I'm gonna cruise control right now at 55. So you understand what I'm saying. All right, you ready? So it's 55 miles for this lane, the middle lane, and the left lane. Now, doesn't matter where you go. If you do over 55, you can get a ticket. Now, one of the main reasons, other than obviously the danger, I don't want to get a ticket. These speeding tickets, not only do they, you have to pay a fine, you get points on your license. On top of that, you also get your insurance rates could go up. New York insurance rates is one of the highest, from what I understand. To a point where you get people who have insurance plates from from out of state. They'll have out of state cars and they'll be up here. You see that a lot in New York City. So, needless to say, doesn't matter what lane you go on, the speed limit is 55. So if I'm in the right lane, I'm doing 55, and you tailgating me, and you're getting upset, I'm not going to understand why. Because I'm actually doing the speed limit, which means you're getting upset because I don't want to get a ticket. I don't want to get points on my license, so you're getting upset. I had to bring the thing down. I was actually doing like 40. All right, so let me cruise control it back to 55. Is that the president? Something's going on here. Anyway, all right, so actually might be the president coming to town. All right, so off topic. Usually when they have like what they call those motorcades, those cars, and then the most side they do escorting is usually like a president or somebody important, the governor maybe the governor. Anyway, going back to the speed. So right now I'm cruise control 55. So basically any car that passes me on the left, it's doing over 55. Now, here's the problem. I try to be considerate because I know that if I'm here, I'm doing 55, I'm not an asshole, according to the eyes of the law. If I'm in the left lane doing 55, I'm still not an asshole, according to the eyes of the law, because I'm doing the speed limit. If I go over 55 and I'm in the left lane, I can get a ticket. So, just to be a friendly motorist, as they call it, right? Motorist, driver. I'm watching too much of those defensive driving videos, and I think this is where I get my behavior modification. And it's watching these videos, and they're really good. You save 10% on insurance. I'm all about saving money. You pay $25 for the course, and you save 10% on insurance. You can't go wrong. So anyway, so if I'm in the left lane, I'm doing 55, and you're going around me getting upset, tailgating me. That's on you. I don't care. Sometimes I say to myself, you know what? I should go in the left lane just to piss these drivers off, because I know that I'm not being an asshole because I'm still doing the speed limit, and I don't like when people speed. So I should be an asshole. But I said, you know what? Let me just leave it alone, because you might get that one asshole who's gonna, go in front and brake check you, and then now possibly cause an accident. Because what's gonna happen is they're gonna brake check me. I got dash cam, right? They're gonna brake check me, and I'm not gonna expect it, because when I'm on cruise control and if there's no car in front of me, My feet are relaxed. So if you go in front of me, cut me off and brake check me, I'm going to slam into you. Not on purpose, but it's going to happen. So to avoid all that, I just stick to the far right, keep it on cruise control, and let all these cars pass me. Occasionally you get one person who's like you, and they'll keep a distance, like one car behind me, and he's doing the speed I'm doing, and he's keeping a good distance behind me. That's awesome. But everybody else, you see, they're going to pass. Whether they pass slowly or they pass really fast, they're going to pass. So one thing I want, what I don't understand, I want to ask you guys is, why is it that you guys tailgate cars going slow? You know, you be one of those drivers that you tailgate like, oh, watch it be an old lady. Oh, it's not an old lady, it's an asshole. No, it's a person who don't want to get a ticket. Look, these tickets are too expensive, man. Not only, all right, so besides, other than the fact they want to crash in worst case scenario, or even if it's a minor fender bender, they don't want a ticket. They don't want the points on the license. They're paying out of pocket for the ticket. They got points on the license and look like a bad driver. And the insurance rates go up. It's all around a bad deal to get the ticket. And if let's say you do get a ticket and you fight it and you beat it, look, these lawyers, now you're paying a lawyer fee. I don't have money for that. My company takes too much money out of my taxes. There's no way I'm going to pay another tax, aka ticket, to the government. No, it's not happening. So I'm gonna learn what I learned in those defensive driving courses, and I'm gonna make sure that I follow the rules of the road. Let all these cars get caught by the cops, and let all these insurance go up. I'm good. The insurance company is gonna see that I never got a ticket and never been in an accident, and they're gonna see, wow, this, you know, maybe we should give this guy a good rate. Also, side note, if you have insurance company, I recommend, I know it's tedious and I hate it. You don't know how much I hate it, but I recommend getting checking your insurance once a year at minimum. You know, sometimes they say every 6 months. That's every policy basically, but I say once a year, because you get a feel. And if you see like if you do it once a year for the next 3 years and it's like no change, you still have the cheapest one, then I'll say push it every 2 years. You know, and then if still the same, push it every 3 years. If still the same, you know, I mean, it's you know, like, it's just a point where you got to say, well, you know what, you just got the best insurance. So, you know, you got to take, all right, so going back to the whole blog, again, I don't want to get sidetracked. So you tailgating this person, like, let's say this guy, right now, he's technically, I had to bring down my speed. I'm doing 50 now, because the guy in front of me was going slower, and I don't want to tailgate. So now I'm driving slower. I'm not going to tailgate him, oh, hey, asshole, you the speed limit is 55, you're doing 50. No, because that's the whole point. See, they say the left lane is the passing lane, right? What that means is not, oh, if the guy's doing 50, then 55 and the speed limit's 55, you could pass him. No, that means if a guy's doing 50 like the guy in front of me was, okay, he picked it up a little bit, so let me cruise control back to 55 right now. Okay, going back to what I was saying. So if you're doing 50, if he's doing 50, then I could, in the middle lane or in the right lane, then I could go left lane and pass him and do 55. That's all that means when they say it's a passing lane. It's not a free ride to whatever speed you want because you want to pass the car doing whatever speed the car is going. No, that's not how it works. But there's so many drivers out here just passing. You see it. All these cars that pass me is doing more than 55. And just use your imagination. Depending on how fast they pass me, you could make a determination on your own how faster than 55 they're going. Now, let me explain the reason for this. And I did a different vlog. So right now I've explained to you, you know, you shouldn't tailgate people. You should understand that people don't want to get a ticket and all that, right? And you should really understand that speed limit is 55 for all lanes. And if you pass, and it's not really a passing lane, right? All right, I'm breaking all that down, right? It's a passing lane only if the car in front of you is going less than 55. At any time, any lane you're driving in, if you're going over 55, you can get a ticket. All right, that's that. Now let's explain why people do that, right? Why you think these cars go faster than the speed limit and they don't care about getting a ticket? You know, we already know that obviously they don't care about crashing, right? Because that would be a concern. Now you get people who are legitimately late. Now, to cover that part, oh, they late, that's why they're rushing. They don't want to get late to work. Well, you know what? I always give myself 30 minutes time to travel. And that's enough to stop and, get gas, or if there's a little minor traffic. And if there's a major incident, my boss would understand, right? Because he knows, I've been working for the company for a long time, and I'm never late. And if there's one time I'm late, there's a good reason. So that's that, right? So the reason why these drivers do that, because one, you got to think about what's the chances of getting a ticket. Let me walk through the steps. What are the chances that a cop catches you? I mean, I'm making up numbers here. I'm not going to sit here and give you like real numbers, right? Because I'll be lying if I do that. I don't know what the real numbers are. But let's just say, based off experience of me driving, how many times I see a cop, I'm going to be honest with you. If I drive a certain highway every day, and what are the chances that I actually see a cop on that highway? I want to say throughout the whole time, the whole ride, maybe once you see a cop. Maybe once. And let's say that's a 30-minute drive, right? And you see a cop once. That's a cop once every 30 minutes. Now, what are the chances that cop don't already have somebody else pulled over? Or he's not going to pull over somebody going faster than you, right? So this is assuming you're going the fastest. So the chances of getting pulled over is right there. You have the best chance of not getting a ticket by not being spotted. And then let's say you get pulled over. What are the chances of him actually giving you a ticket? What if you're the nice person, or you're playing the nice person, and you talk your way out of it, or the cases, or you could really prove your case, whether you're like, oh look, my wife's in labor, or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? Like, if your wife is actually in labor, you know what I mean? Like, what are the chances of you getting out of the ticket? That's the second barrier of defense. Then let's say you get the ticket. All right, cool. Now you fight it, right? Let's say you want to fight it. Whether you get a lawyer or not, whatever the case is. Let's say you don't get a lawyer. Now let's say he actually shows up, right? I don't know if that still exists. I don't know if they still do that, where if the cop doesn't show up, I guess it depends where you at. But let's say, he doesn't show up. That's defense number 3. But now let's say he actually shows up. Now we're going to defense number 4, fighting it. We got to hope that he messes up when he talks about the situation of how you got the ticket. I think the way it works is because I had my friend does it. They have to describe what happened, and the judge got to decide whether if what they're saying is credible, or if there's any inaccuracies or something like that. So that's what I'm at. Defense number 5, 4, 5, whatever. Right? I lost track. That's the next defense. Let's call it number 5. Let's get 4. Oh well. So now that's defense number 5. And then now, if he doesn't trip up, the judge goes to you. Now you get to talk. If his testimony is good, you don't say anything, then it's going to be a guilty, right? But now let's say he does it. Now you got to explain yourself. And if you can find a good reason why you were speeding, then you might be off the hook. And I'm talking about a legit reason. I don't think there's really a legit reason why, but there might be some exigent circumstance that your wife's in labor. I don't know, whatever the case is. If that's really the case, or I don't know, whatever. Somebody, think of anything. There's situations where the judge may say, all right, you know what, it's still illegal, but I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. At least that's what the judge told that other person. I'm gonna give you the benefit of a doubt. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, that was a different vlog. I talked about that before. What you call it? All right, so that's the next defense. Now you get to testify. So there's so many defense barriers that when you talk about the probability, now we're doing math now. Now we're gonna go to math. When you do probability of is it worth it? It's like the lotto, right? What's the probability of winning? Obviously the probability of winning is little to none, but people still play it, right? So you still, when you talk about probability, and you have like whatever the probability is of winning the lotto, and you still play it, when you talk about probability of getting a ticket, it's a lot higher than the lotto. Obviously, we can't compare the two, but you know, it's still a long shot where chances are you won't get a ticket. And people who like to speed knows that, so they're going to speed. And that's basically what it boils down to. The probability of getting a ticket and all the defense. And if they do get caught, the probability of all the other defense going in, they figure it's worth speeding. You know, it's kind of like a criminal case. Like a criminal says, you know what, if I steal this, I'm only going to get this times. And what's the probability of me getting caught? I'm going to do it. Where they won't say the same for a murder charge, because now, even though the probability probably will be the same, the chance of getting caught is actually a little higher because of the state of the crime and the degree of the crime. And then on top of all that, once you do get caught, you committed a crime. Now you're talking about a higher sentence. So that's one. The next thing, real quick, because this video went way too long. The next thing, other than getting caught, is the fines. The penalties once getting caught is not stiff enough for the person. You know, it's whatever the fine is, whatever the points are, whatever the case is, it's not stiff enough. If they make the fine stiff enough, then you have people who think twice about committing the violation. Anyway, I'm done. I think 60 minutes is long enough. And if you made this far, you know, that means it was what I said was interesting. I appreciate it. Like and share, give the thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, real quick, you want to stop, if the states want to stop people from speeding and all that, you got to increase the penalties of the violation and stop letting people go in traffic court. As I stated in my other thing, where I went to court with my friend and the judge would let a lot of people go, and obviously my friend was guilty. But we're not mad, he knew he was guilty. Anyway, you'll see that vlog is a whole different thing. Thanks for watching, like and share, take care.